300 miles east of Anchorage lies one of Alaska's last undiscovered treasures, the mining ghost towns of Kennicott and McCarthy, nestled in a glacier-carved valley and encircled by the continent's largest national park, the 12-million-acre Wrangell-St. Elias. A stunning day drive or short flight from Anchorage, this is an area you can practically call your own. It's thick with history, lacking in crowds, and glowing with small-town charm and hospitality. History alone makes this area a wonder. In 1900, two prospectors named Tarantula Jack Smith and Clarence Warner braved glaciers and grizzlies to find a legendary patch of green jutting from the hillside. They'd stumbled upon the richest copper deposit ever discovered. The famed financier families of Morgan and Guggenheim bought the rights, formed the Kennicott Mining Company, and eventually chipped out 1 billion pounds of copper from the valley's snow-swept ridges.
They had to build a railroad. They had to build a mine from basically the wilderness. They had to build a steamship company, which moved the ore from Cordova down to Tacoma, Washington. And all of that was done around 1910. The railroad got in here in 1911, and they started producing ore at that time.
To house the growing number of workers, Kennicott sprang up and became the most modern city in Alaska at that time.
There was a hospital. The buildings were all steam heated, had electricity and running water and that. And this was, of course, at a time when Anchorage was a few tenths down on Ship Creek.
Kennicott was a place of strict morals. Liquor was outlawed, and jobs for single women were scarce.
Kennicott developed, it was a company town. They had very strict rules about what could take place on their property and that. There was no alcohol and there was very few forms of entertainment. Much of the other adult entertainment was provided in McCarthy. McCarthy grew up as a support community for not only Kennicott, but the gold mining district, which is about 15 miles southeast of Kennicott.
Today, old mining equipment still stands outside the town storefronts in a living tribute to the workers on whose strong backs the towns thrived. From historic exploration to high adventure, all it takes to enjoy this area is a bit of the prospector's spirit. You'll even find modern luxury. The 25-room Kennicott Glacier Lodge faithfully recreates an old mining building, yet inside is a comfortable hotel with every creature comfort. The quiet bedrooms are decked out with old mining artifacts and photos, and the full-length porch serves up a panoramic view of the Chugach Mountains, close enough to the glaciers to hear them creak. It was the love of the lore that inspired owner Rich Kirkwood to stake his claim to this historic building.
The Kennicott Glacier Lodge reflects the personality and the history of the town of Kennicott. We developed the lodge here to allow people to come and enjoy this great country, the history and the activities that there are to do here, and just to enjoy the real Alaska.
Today, the lodge is a monument to the town's storied past. You'll get to know your fellow guests during the a la carte breakfasts and lunches, as well as the family-style dinners.
We have a fairly wide range of visitors that come to this area, and for those more adventurous types, they may find themselves attracted to the end of the road, and that's where we are. Typically, we have very active people that are here. They do a lot of things, while they're here. It may be flight seeing, it may be river rafting, it may be backcountry trips. They just realize that this national park is a very special country, and if you like outdoor activities, there's great opportunities to participate in that here.
Join a guide and stroll through town, taking in more of the historic buildings of the Kennicott Mine. Take a flight sing trip deep into the park and get face-to-face with the rugged landscape of Wrangell-St. Elias. Or get out into nature. Take a half-day glacier hike on the Root Glacier, complete with crampons. Or go for a custom-designed adventure of hiking or rafting that's as easy or as hardcore as you like.
One of the fantastic things about the area is clients staying in the luxury of Kennicott Glacier Lodge. They can come out with us and they can experience that rawness of Alaska and then experience it for the day, really absorb it, really get in deep, and then they can return right back to that luxury for a warm shower and a great meal, and they eat it up.
McCarthy and Kennicott lie in wait, both sitting sleepily among majestic mountains. So come and experience the story they have to tell. And as you sit and listen, soon the ghost town surroundings and limestone peaks above become part of a history and wilderness bound only by the limits of your imagination and the thickness of the soles of your hiking boots.